Those were some of the phone noises that our phones can make.
People don't do that enough these days. Buses are just not full of people going through their ringtones, and I think it's a mess.
Aruga. It's a
Steve.
sound effect you don't hear often enough.
Steve, can you do an impression of the robot ringtone on an iPhone?
Yes, it goes a little something like this.
I will be playing it afterwards, so you have to get it right.
Okay, it goes wah 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 wah.
Matt, do you care to have a go?
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, that's
I
terrible.
don't remember what it sounds like. I haven't got
I
an iPhone.
literally
They're
just-
shit.
Well, I think it's blah, 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 blah. The answer is... it's where he's going, Papa at the end, like he's telling you about a fart he did.
I think like you got the start bit right, Log, but then Steve did the second bit right. If we could merge those two together somehow, then we would have the ultimate sound alike.
Good idea, Matt Lees. I'll start. Blah, 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 blah.
That was perfect. It was like somebody's phone was actually going off.
What is the robot trying to communicate?
Well,
Love.
oh, bloody hell, I shot myself.
I'm going to hear that every time my phone rings now.
But in a hole hurt my knee.
A woman came by and looked at my face.
That's too many noises.
Welcome to Regular Features. Who are you?
Hello, I'm Matt. I wish I'd discovered hair conditioner before I was 18. And we're joined by Steve.
I'm Steve, and I'm wondering if you can still buy cassette recorders.
My name's John Blythe, and it's my prerogative to tell you nothing about myself.
Welcome to the show.
Hello!
Now it's time for Steve's regular feature.
Yes.
Steve's favourite fast food French fries fever.
What's it called again, Steve?
Fever Fever.
It sounds brilliant, but I didn't hear a word of it.
This is Steve's favourite fast food French fries. I am a connoisseur of fast food.
You are a fan of French. Walking back with you from McDonald's today, you did empty a paper cup of chips into your face at a zebra crossing. It compromised the safety of everyone involved, but you didn't give a fuck.
We were going to run and drag him. No, don't drag him.
I was wearing a McDonald's fry cup like a beak.
Just shaking your head like a dog with a toy, chips flying everywhere.
I wasn't even enjoying the chips. I was just enjoying being a fat glutton.
You were dominating them, and that's all that mattered.
Mind
You
I
went
think
into the car phone warehouse to check if you could have a new phone, and I had to wait outside, and I've mastered holding a cup in one hand and sort of cradling my McDonald's like a baby, like you would a baby. And
It wasn't just chips. This is your bloated brown paper bag, wasn't
yes,
it?
this is the brown paper bag with that 5-piece chicken selects meal in there. But I'm now able to, with one hand, reach into the bag, open the barbecue sauce, and put it in a position where I can dip chicken selects into it.
What, you can open a tub of barbecue sauce with one hand?
Yeah,
That's
Fucking
impressive.
sweat.
I mean, without spilling it all over the inside.
I was
of the
quite
bag.
pleased. I managed that classic trick of saying, "Can I have a chip?" And then she said, "Yeah." And then I took about 4.
Yeah,
But I mean, everyone always does that. But only weirdly,
Speechless.
with chips and crisps. It's kind of all right with chips and crisps, but if you do it with like biscuits,
I wouldn't take more than one crisp unless it was someone I felt sort of close enough to abuse.
unless it's
Come
Pringles. You can just go. You can take about 5 Pringles, right?
yeah.
No.
Otherwise, you're repeatedly reaching into that tube.
Right, here's the scenario, right, with crisps, right? You see
You
someone
fuck-
else eating a big crisp, and they go, "Do you want a crisp?" And you go, "Yeah, I'll have a crisp." And then you go and take a crisp, right? And you kind of see it coming out the bag, like, and they haven't noticed, you can see it, and it's really small. And you're like, "Oh, I can get another one." But
So you thrust your hand back in and start mashing them up with your
You're on
fist.
your way out, and you'll be like, "Oh, yeah, just to get one more." Because, I mean, otherwise, if you end up one of those little diddlers...
You can't actually have that thought process being so visible. You can't say, look in, see a small crisp, and then sort of look to the eyes of the person giving you a crisp and reach back in.
I
What's
managed
it like
it
how
somehow.
you excused yourself taking those chips? You're like, oh, this is what you do. I was fucking furious.
You were livid.
It's like I was halfway through it, so you took maybe 20% of the chips that were remaining.
No, there was still loads. It looked like a large portion of chips.
Well, what would you know about correct portions of chips when you fucking take big handfuls out of mine?
Oh, yeah. Well, you could have had some of my pint of cauliflower cheese soup.
At number 5, KFC. Very dry chips.
Yeah, they are.
They come in tiny, tiny bags, which
They're they're kind of soft.
very fluffy on the inside.
I get the impression they might be made with potatoes, though.
But on their behalf, may I pipe up, you do get a sachet of salt.
That's true. You have to salt your own chips, which
But that's nice.
I'm making gestures of appreciation to that.
No.
But they put you in the driving seat.
Yeah.
why don't I just make my own bloody chips?
Well,
Yeah, just give me a fucking cold spud and a hairdryer, you cheap wankers.
it's I don't know. I kind of like KFC chips. They're all right, but you have to have them with a side. And that's why I always get wheeled into having one of those magic box deals for like £6 because it's like you get like dippy things.
Nope, KFC chips are for pricks. Number 4, Burger King.
What? And this is going from worst to best.
Yes.
And you've put Burger King at 4.
Yeah, greasy.
Fuck you, man.
Greasy,
Fuck
crispy.
you.
Greasy and crispy.
Those chips are badass.
They put them too close to the beef.
They're called King fries for a reason, mate. But you know the stuff they put on those things. Apparently, I heard this a while ago. Apparently, the same
tallow.
thing they used to make. Is that the name of it?
I don't know.
Well, there's a name of a thing that might be tallow, which is put on the fries at Burger King, and it is the same to make them extra crispy. And apparently, it's the same chemical, the same thing that is used to
In ricin.
that was originally used to make stealth bombers invisible.
Fucking Nora.
So Burger King
Invisible
chips are
and
for arseholes.
delicious.
Apparently, that when used on stealth bombers originally didn't work because they realised when it was raining, people could see the planes on radars. But they didn't realise that for quite a while, which is quite funny. Oh, sorry, my
That's one of
your list, Steve.
Yeah, I mean...
That's one of the wonderful but side benefits of war.
Yeah, nice chips. Number 3, I couldn't think of 5 fast food restaurants, but that have... I don't know if Pizza Hut have chips.
But you put it down there anyway.
Pizza Huts have wedges and they're fucking abysmal.
Yeah. See, the fact I can't conjure up an image of a Pizza Hut chip means they're very unappealing.
But you,
Yeah, that's it.
So I've put them...
third on the list.
Well, yeah,
Unimaginable
middling.
chips.
Sort of in the middle. Might exist, might not. Might be
Painfully
good.
average. And number 2 is the fish and chip shop around the corner from me. I think it's called Bermondsey Fish and Chips, but they do really nice chips.
They do really good chips around the corner from my house. Well, they're about £1 as well. And you do get your own weight in them. But I don't know what they cook them in because I think they might be evil.
But they're properly like the really sweaty ones.
Oh yeah, the really wet, damp things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect because mine. I've got one just around my corner from my house, so it's actually quicker for me to go and get chips than it is for me to do anything else. Which means often when I'm hungover, it just means I have chips for breakfast.
At no point does it not make all the sense in the world
It
to
just
eat
makes so
chips.
much sense. It's like Tesco's is approximately 10 times further away.
At number 1, can you guess what it is?
Is it going to be McDonald's?
It's McDonald's chips.
Well, I mean, McDonald's is all right, and I mean, you've had them today, but fucking hell, man! I mean, you put Burger King 4 points back.
People say, "Oh, there's no potato in McDonald's chips. It's all like rice paper and soya."
So, what is this thing you call soya?
Yeah, and flour and pastry and like fluff and dust and cardboard.
But
Quite a lot of things.
you get ash,
But-
and felt,
String.
and cusps
Old
of
bits
calico that have been used to make a suit for a fat bloke.
It's a carpet and curtain.
It's like it's not made of anything. It's pretty much 90% doesn't even exist. I
And
mean,
what does
like
exist is
Pizza Hut
tobacco
chips?
and pubes.
Yeah. So I mean, no. But that's
you
all
love
wrong
them.
because I think they're really nice. I don't care.
Well, I was going to
if they're
say,
not
Steve,
actually chips.
for a second, I was going to say you might wait till we've got listenership before you start angling for a plug. But you've just been so complimentary in such negative terms about their chips. I don't think they'd pay for that.
No.
People think that. Everyone says they're shit. Well, I disagree. Well, this one man disagrees.
It might be
I'm
complete
making
shit,
this stuff.
but I like them. I think Locke's made a good point.
and
before,
they're,
you know?
they're salted, right? That's
No,
the
but
thing
you're
as well. They
slagging
are
off
salted.
KFC for giving you the option to put on salt you want. I think the thing is, McDonald's things are nice, but they are essentially just bits of things cooked and then covered in salt.
Well, no, well,
and
look-
anything covered in salt is great.
They're trained culinary chefs. They know precisely how much salt goes on a chip to make it optimally delicious.
Lots.
Yeah.
You can't.
They've got a chart
You have to put quite a lot of salt on something before it stops being tasty.
and starts being lethal.
Legally lethal.
Legal.
Starting Reese Witherspoon.
So anyway, that was Steve's favourite fast food French fries.
I disagree entirely.
Well, fuck.
Don't stop, do a big flop, get your dick out, I'll kiss the top.
Where do you think that
those things should stop?
You
Go
probably
should call
call
the
the
police. At the heart of my feature is a contentious statement that I am the best,
Right.
and I'm willing to take you two on in categories of my choosing.
Is this is this like Top Trumps, where you bring up the categories and the numbers, and then we just go, oh fuck, I've got.
Yeah, but I've drawn the top trump cards, and I've drawn pictures of you, and you've got a bum for a face and no numbers by your scores.
You've got no numbers, not even low numbers.
Well, you write in your numbers, but under my scrutiny. That's how this
shit.
feature works.
Your weighty scrutiny.
Well, what are the categories?
Well,
Hairy
first,
scrutiny. I just realised that
Her scrutiny.
It sounds a bit like scrote.
Yeah, it
like
does.
Yes.
scrotum.
Yeah.
As
oh,
in-
really? Oh, it's scrotum. Oh,
Yeah.
Is that an abbreviation for scrotum?
I've noticed that now the phrase under scrutiny just sounds really funny.
Under scrotum.
Delving into the underscrote with Steve Hogarty.
Thicket. Could I interest you in coming under scrutiny, sir?
Okay, for round one, who is the best at trampolines? I think I am the best at trampolines. What's your best trick you've done on a trampoline?
Ooh, this is embarrassing. I was really bad at trampolining when I was at school. I only did it once, and at the time I had a really bad thing with my sinuses, and I got a really bad guitar, and it was fucking up my ears and head and all that, and it meant I think my ability to deal with spatial movements went mental, and just moving up and down. Made me
Spatial
feel-
movements,
Spatial movements.
as opposed to
just...
moving through time.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Sort
didn't...
of fucked up trampolines you'd have at your school.
Well, I didn't get to that level of time transport trampolining. But no, I couldn't do it. It was really embarrassing. Everyone else was doing backflips, and I just bounced up and down a couple of feet in the air, and then had to get off saying I feel sick.
Oh.
And everyone thought I was a prick.
That is bad. There was a
Yeah.
really fat kid at our school who wouldn't let his feet come off the trampoline. He'd just bend his knees a bit and go up and down, and it made me... I was just like, Scott, just fucking help yourself. You're a laughing stock and you're not doing anything to help yourself. Then I got up there and I was like a graceful swan flapping about with my legs everywhere. I know, Steve, how good are you at trampolines?
Well, what is the best trick you can do? Like,
I had done a forward somersault and I landed on my feet, and then the momentum of my movement made me run forwards and off the end of the trampoline, which I did with some elegance.
smelligance.
Some elegance. Of course, I did shit myself, which was a late conversion of my elegance into
I was
smelligance.
initially thinking you'd chosen something so niche that we wouldn't be able to beat you at it because you're very good at it. That doesn't sound that impressive.
No, people were surprised at how good I was at it, because it is odd to look at a fat bloke doing the trampoline. But I did a pike jump, and that's when you do your legs up. And
fish.
and I could do that about 10 times on the trot before people looked like they were a bit bored of watching a man do that.
That's impressive.
Somersaults have always been a bit of a fear of mine, because I don't think a human being should go upside down. But I did it that
Well, I
day.
think there's a lot of people who would argue the same. So, what about you, Steve?
Sort of forward
Do they have
somersault
trampolines
is your
in
best, your best stunt.
And
'Cause
also
I'm-
back jump, going onto your back and then sort of hitting the angle slightly wrong and going off at a degree that you didn't expect.
Ooh.
I'm good at that and all.
Oh. What if someone tilted the trampoline while you're in the air, like at a 45-degree angle?
In zero gravity.
Well,
Hold on, I wasn't
zero
paying
gravity.
attention when you were talking.
Steve, hang on, you haven't told us anything about your trampoline skills.
Has to hide.
Look, I've never been on a trampoline.
Oh.
What the fuck?
I saw a picture of
The culture divide between me and you has never been more
It's
stark.
me saying, oh, you have trampolines in Ireland? Evidently not.
We do have trampolines in Ireland, but I once saw a picture of some deer sleeping under a trampoline, all their antlers pointing up at it, and I thought, God, I'm never going to go on a trampoline now.
Well, in case there are deer underneath it.
Yeah, with antlers.
But you can usually see underneath trampolines whilst you're getting on them and when you're on them.
Oh yeah, but then as soon as you look away,
Oh, God.
just to say that one hasn't gone under.
My
Or
long time
someone's
favourite-
just put a spike underneath it.
My long time and all the thing that I can't stop wincing about it now, just even thinking about it, is that you run towards your legs go between the springs. And that's bad enough
I
because
used to
they'd
do
sort of scrape a bit. But then you look down and you find out one of your nuts inside the coil of the spring.
And then you have to live there.
you have to- it doesn't hurt, but you know that it's going to... You've no idea how it got there. But there's no way you're...
You have to wait for someone to bounce on it, and when the springs
Yeah,
are
have to pull out, and
then you go... you get it out as quick as you can.
Could be crushed. 50-50, crushed doors, perfectly safe.
To be honest, I always found that at school, like, trampolining was one of the... I wasn't that bad, but it felt like one of the most embarrassing subjects because it was like, hey...
It wasn't a subject, man.
well, all right, not subjects. One of the embarrassing things in PE because it was like, "Hey guys," especially the first time I remember. It's like, "Hey guys, look at this. None of you have ever done this before. It's not really like anything you've ever done before, and you've no idea how good you're going to be at it until you start doing it." Oh, and by the way, unlike in other sports where we can all give you a ball and a bat and let you go and practice your own, we've only got one of them, which means we have 30 people all standing around the edge watching you, having a simultaneous thing of going.
30 people to one trampoline?
Yeah,
For fuck's sake.
I was brought up in the
Big
north.
trampoline.
We loved it.
It was a massive... Everyone got
It was a big trampoline, but everyone's there stood thinking, "I want my go," but also kind of like you're aware that you just
Was
being
this a
watched
bouncy
by
castle?
people. No, you're allowed more than one person in the bouncy castle.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
You're not.
You are.
They've got tiny bouncy castles in Ireland.
And I've had some times on bouncy castles. That's a story for another time. Maybe
I
I'll
think
do a
we don't-
feature on all the good times I've had on bouncy castles.
I don't normally put down any of our differences to the fact you're from a different country, but when it comes to jumping on stuff, it seems to me that's the root of everything.
Good time.
I think we've rambled about trampolines for a while now. Can we? I think.
Next
Was
category.
I the best at trampolines? I think
No,
I
no,
was.
it was me. I'm afraid I'm the best, according
Okay.
by the criteria which I have laid down.
I concede on this one point.
The second category is being a good friend, and I would say to you, Steve, that you are not a good friend.
Well,
Bitchy, it's
see,
gonna
like,
get bitchy.
I'm such a good friend that I really want you to win this and be the best at being a good friend, so I'm going to give it to you.
So, do you remember when you, in Google chat and you said that you fancied someone? You said, I think I fancy this bloke, but he's a bit chubby. And it was like, Steve, you do realise I'm well fat, don't you? How can you just come and say, it's like I go up to...
That's well bad. That's like turning around to like... That's like turning to Barack Obama and saying, oh, I like this person, but they're black and that's weird.
I think it's like going up to Stephen Hawkins and saying, I saw this bloke and I think he's got a shot at happiness, but he's got a bit of a limp. So maybe not.
Well, Steve,
talking about. He's a bit chubby though, isn't he?
That shouldn't be that shouldn't be a barrier between you and sucking his balls.
Look, I don't look
Let
at
this
you as a physical thing.
Oh, brilliant! How can you suck the balls of a non-physical entity, Steve? Anyway, Matt, what are you looking at? I've got no story about you being a bad friend, but
that's nice.
I just don't like you.
Well, I haven't really got any defence. I kind of like, yeah.
Well, you fucking ate my chips.
I ate some
Yeah, well,
chips.
you ate Steve Chips, and I love Steve.
But that was due to I thought we had a relationship that would allow that, but he's betrayed my trust by posthumously being angry about chips.
You were premature in the friendship, and you
I've
were
known him for like 2
you
years.
were rude to. You, Steve, were rude to put out in such a way to lead him to believe that he might be able to have more than one chip.
Look,
I was leading him on.
I'd like to pretend that I'm the best friend in the world, but I'm a miserable git most of the time, and I'm probably not.
You hide it beneath the veneer of a smile.
Well, I do, but I don't, and you know that. I'm very friendly, but I'm also a complete miserable bastard most of the time.
You do have a hunch when you're in a mood.
I do, and
When the earphones are in, don't come knocking on my forehead.
So I don't think I am. I don't think I'm a nice person, so I'm not even going to contend with this one. I'm going to give you a 9, and I'm going to settle with whatever number's on my fucking top trump card.
2 out of 3 rounds. I win at being a good friend who is excellent at trampolining. Final round. Who had the most tight foreskin when they are 12? And that is a good thing.
How is that a good thing?
Is that good?
Because it stops you washing under it and you get an SU and you get a really itchy cock that's good for a week for wanking, but then it starts getting a bit weird.
Oh, fucking hell.
Having an itchy bell end is all right for a wank until it turns into something more serious.
Yeah, no, I've been there in different ways. But
It's a very common thing.
Gonorrhea?
yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I've had a couple of different interesting...
How did they cure your gonorrhea, Matt? Because I had it done in 2 different ways.
How did they cure it? I think it was just medicine.
They just shouted at your bell end until it was all right again.
I don't know. It wasn't.
Mine was. Well, I had one.
intentional, but-
Sorry, I'm just talking over you.
It's fine, it's
One of them was a jab in the bum, and it also cleared up my gingivitis. so it's brilliant.
Double whammy. No, I don't know. I can manage to contract a number of things at university. And I wasn't particularly prolific. I think I was just maybe drunk and stupid or something. I don't really remember. But anyway, yeah. They just give you pills. It's great. The best one is chlamydia, because if you're a woman, then you're in serious trouble. But if you're a man, they just give you a pill. You take the pill, and then that's it.
Wow.
It's gone in like 2 days.
Fucking
it's
maleness
like, hey,
rules.
Who gives a shit about chlamydia? Unless you're a woman, in which case you might be in serious trouble. But,
I've been very
what
quiet
other-
in this conversation because my genitals are clean.
Hey, mine are clean. But, you know, showers don't wash away that shit, Steve.
What was?
Get to a doctor.
Did you not have anything wrong with your foreskin at all?
No, I had normal foreskin.
No, God, what am I saying? It's a boon. I'm phrasing this all wrongly. I'm supposed to be the best.
I remember my parents asking me at one point. I think I must have been quite young, because it was in Guildford, and I left Guildford when I was about 9. But I do remember my mum or my dad. I think my mum saying, do you have any, trouble with a bit at the front of your willy when you go to the toilet?
Oh, God.
I think because it's just that thing of maybe, you just want to check that they don't need to get any sort of surgery over. And I was like, oh no. And I do remember for a few years thinking,
Don't just check him. Because are you having any trouble with the end of your willy? Because if you are, we'll cut it off for you.
Oh, God.
well, no, I think my mum's
Oh, mum's
doesn't mess
fine.
around, but I think I must have been past the age where
she don't fuck about my mum. Right off.
if you met her, you'd know. But no, she wouldn't be the sort of person who would go, I was at the sort of age.
Give
where
it
you
here.
You can't just go, let's have a look at you, get him down. Well, yeah, that's all right. But I do remember having a period of kind of just being like...
Oh, my God. This is awful. What a horrible story.
No, I remember having a period of being like, is Is that tight? Is that all right? It turns out my foreskin is perfect, just like the rest
I've
of my
got foreskin
penis.
like a bin bag.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I grew up
Wrap it around my face.
I grew up thinking the stories of
now.
Zach from EMF putting a lemon inside his foreskin must have been lies, because honestly, I could not get a pee up there, pee down there.
Well, I hope you get a pee out of there.
Well, yes. It's fun.
That's a joke. That was a joke.
I jammed it into my little...
That was the podcast's first joke.
I'm really sorry.
in my pee-pee hole, and then I did a light on my back.
Did you actually try and get a pee into it?
No, it was a nice idea to do like you can with a straw and a Malteser, but pee on the fountain of piss.
I'm kind of
I'd do that.
fixated.
I'd go with that.
Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if you could shoot jets of air out of your penis at any time?
Oh,
Imagine the tricks you could play.
my first foreskin drewn back wank at the age of 18, I popped my banjo and blood flew out.
Fucking hell. This is quite quickly becoming deeply uncomfortable listening rather than just uncomfortable listening. And to make matters worse, as you talk about lemons in foreskins, I'm sort of thinking, what's the biggest fruit I could get? I reckon a kumquat is probably my limit. I mean, if you remove the... No.
Well, it'd just be a quat before you put it in there.
Oh!
Hey, another joke.
2 jokes in one podcast and a horrific mental image. Shall we... Is that more?
Apple.
Well, I don't want to end your feature. I don't want to feel like I'm hurrying your feature. I just think maybe we should stop talking about sexual diseases and penis injuries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regular features.
All right, now it's time for my feature. It was initially going to be a feature called Most Commonly Misunderstood Vegetables of Western Culture, but we started talking about...
1 second, I just want to reiterate that I won the last round, yeah?
the quiz about you being amazing.
I'm the best, yeah.
Well, I think anyone who purposefully engineers a feature about how great they are is just fucking disgraceful.
Oh, deconstruction is well ugly, Matt. Go on, do your shit.
All right, yeah, no, you did win.
Deconstructing is not very becoming of you, Matt.
Yeah, I thought better of you
It wasn't
than to
deconstructing,
take
it was
away,
self-
to strip away the rules.
I didn't know there were rules.
I know what I'm saying.
Nobody knows what you're saying. Nobody knows what any of us are saying.
You won. Do your feature. Do your
You won.
feature.
You just won, all right? Jesus, dog. You won. You always win. You win at everything.
I won.
I hate you, long. So instead, I'm going to do a feature I have now scrawled on. It was going to be called The Sexiest Times I've Been on. Actually, I'm just going to call it that. It's not going to be accurate, but it's a better title. Welcome to The Sexiest Times I've Been on Bouncy Castles. Now, bouncy castles are brilliant, and I didn't really appreciate that until I was maybe too old to be on them, especially when I started to...
When you think of a bouncy castle, what colour is it in your head?
Yellow.
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
Yeah, red and
Me
yellow.
too.
Precisely. It's just because that's what they are.
Yeah.
But I didn't really appreciate it as a kid.
Either we're psychic or that's true.
It's
It's like a coming of age thing with bouncy castles. When I was at a house party once and somebody had rented one because they were rich or whatever, and it was like,
It was part of puberty, having
didn't
sex on a
pay-
bouncy castle.
well, no, I didn't do that.
Oh, sexiest times on a bouncy
Hey,
castle?
things can be sexy without sex, Steve. Jesus, have you never looked at a magazine?
Is this going to be about tits going up and down?
No.
Is this-
It's not even right. It's not even really the sexy times I've been in a bouncy castle.
Are you using the word sex to mean good?
No. There was one weirdly sexy time, but then I the best times I've
Did it
been
go
in
in?
a bouncy castle doesn't sound good. So I thought I'd leave it as sexiest just because it sounds a bit more fun. It's not an interesting feature, but it does contain bouncy
Well, you
castles.
did just think it up 5 minutes ago, and that
Precisely.
I respect.
Thank you. But anyway, bouncy castles, when you get to take your shoes off, it's awesome, right? That's level number 1 of like bouncy castle appeal, right? First of all, you think, you know what? I'm not taking my shoes off. That was something I was told to do when I was a kid. I don't need to take my shoes off.
It's for the benefit of everyone, you prick.
Why?
Because you're going to burst the bouncy castle with your fucking shoes.
I'll burst my bouncy castle with my fucking cigarettes and lager, mate.
Oh, I'm fucking imagining him on there in a pair of football boots, his studs
Mucky-
tearing open, a fistful of your chips.
God. Yeah.
Hopping around.
Gonorrhea, left, right and centre.
Gonorrhea. Spraying from the end of your cock.
I only had gonorrhea once.
God.
I can't even remember when it was or why it was.
This is sexy.
Jesus. But no, I was the first. You jump around and then you realise that those bits at the top, right? Bits at the top,
What,
The parapets.
supports? The crenellations.
right? Oh yeah, you got the walls. You got the walls to begin with.
The arrow slits, yeah?
Have you ever tried to climb a bouncy castle?
No, I never have.
Well, I have.
No, I've never besieged a
You
bouncy
know what? You know what? I did it. I fucking did it, right? I've climbed a bouncy castle. I've been up there. I've done it.
I have. Now you mentioned this, I have tried this, but it was underinflated and I was really heavy and it kind of folded.
He's screaming, this still counts.
Don't worry.
It still counts. I'm not a fucking horrendous parody.
It's really hard, to be honest. You have to pretend to be light. But then I got to the middle bit, which is like the kind of the archway over the two sides. Because I climbed up on the wall and managed to edge my way around. But then even that couldn't take me at all. And it was a Simpsons one, and it was Homer's face, and I ended up hugging it, and fell very slowly down to the bottom. And then everyone looked at me and went, who the fuck is this guy? Because I didn't really know anyone at this party, and I was quite drunk and maybe a bit high. And I was just like, but that wasn't very sexy.
I'm sorry, Matt, but the idea of you in trainers with a cigarette and a beer while high, climbing around on a bouncy castle.
Were there more appropriately aged children waiting to go on it while this happened?
It was a summer fete.
I'd just stolen all the tombola prizes and made haste to the bouncy castle.
I kissed the vicar and was on my way. No, it was a private party, but no, there was a sexy tale about this castle once. It was very awkward. I was at a warehouse party in Los Angeles, and there was a woman who I vaguely knew through work who was very attractive, but who just would not stop coming on to me. And it was just like, I was on this bouncy castle, and she just kept doing this thing of falling over. Because on bouncy castles, people fall over. That's what happens.
Yeah.
She kept falling over onto me again and again and again. And I'm thinking, yeah, you are battered, but come on, gravity's not that difficult to deal with. And it was just really awkward because she just kept falling onto me and then lying going, oh, Matt, you're so fun. And I'm just like, okay, I've got a girlfriend. Okay. Can you stop doing? And I'm thinking, oh, man. And then we get off the bouncy castle after about 20 minutes of this, which is basically foreplay with clothes on. And the first person she introduces me to?
Her boyfriend.
Her fiancé. What the fuck is that?
Did she know you beforehand?
Yeah.
Were you perceived as safe? Because, like Steve and me, she just couldn't see you as anything with a penis.
It's possible, actually. Yeah.
I'm still smarting over that, Steve. I have got a penis. I'm going to show it to you, Steve.
Oh, he's getting it out.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Well,
I'm glad to see your foreskin's cleared.
Yeah. It's clear. It's completely gone now. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much my sexy
Cleared
times
right
on
up.
sexy times on bouncy castles. Turns out, really, it's me just being treated like a teddy bear and getting high in front of kids. But, I could do the other feature if that was shit. Is that all right?
Yeah, have you got any sexy stories on Bouncy Castle, Steve?
No, I mean, I haven't been on a bouncy castle since I was...
Are you allowed to jump up and down in Ireland?
Yeah, well, it's frowned upon because, you know, all the bits start bouncing around and it all gets a bit sinful.
So the way you said bouncy castles are only meant to have one person on them, does that mean that at a party or a village fete you would have, like, rows and rows of bouncy castles just...
So you got one in a big queue, and you have to face the back wall of the bouncy
But at least
castle.
you don't get that confusion where you're trying to find your shoes at the end. Oh, God. Yeah.
God, you start wearing them on your hands.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Ooh, I'm a horse. Oh, I'm wearing my shoes on my hands like a horse.
He's like galloping away.
And I've had no
Have
sexy
you been vaguely
encounters.
fixated by the kind of engines at the back that fill them up? I always get really fascinated by that. I don't know why. It's the fact that you can see it's like got this constant flow of lots of air being pumped into it.
And you wonder where the excess is coming out.
Well, you kind of know it's
You wonder,
coming
can
out
I breathe it?
in the bits, but you sort of think, I don't know. It's always tempting because it's around the back as well, and I don't know, maybe it's just me because I've
always thought if these bouncy castles were properly constructed, they just need to be inflated once, and that's it. Sealed.
That's mental, though, Steve. There's pop.
That's true enough, isn't it?
Yeah, if it's a sealed container, fill it with air, leave it alone.
And you've got like 6 people in it, it'll pop. Whereas the good thing about bouncy castle, and this is why I don't understand why they only let one person at a time. You can have loads of people on it.
But I was joking about the one person at a time thing.
All right.
The rules are the same in Ireland.
I just realised I remembered it wrong and thought that was serious. Sorry. Jeez. Congratulations for suffering my ignorant line of questioning, Steve.
But I always want to switch it off. I don't know, there's something about the fact that it's round the back and you know
But have you been on one while it's deflating?
No.
It's brilliant.
God. It's like Inception when the world's collapsing around you.
That's exactly what I thought as a 10-year-old.
No, it's like being trapped in a parachute or something, isn't it? I suppose.
A parachute that's underneath you?
Well, no, kind of all around.
That's not how parachutes work. You're thinking of surfboards.
Yeah, you must be thinking of surfboards.
I'm really struggling to work out why that would be the case.
What?
Being trapped surrounded by a surfboard.
No, Matt, parachutes, how is it anything like a parachute?
Well, because...
Except parachutes.
Well, because when parachutes aren't in the sky, they're these big fucking things on the ground. And you get wrapped up in them.
Okay, it's maybe like an upturned
I
parachute.
don't quite remember why I've ever been wrapped up in a parachute, but I clearly have, because I remember it.
I think it's like...
Very silky, apparently.
I've had a very
Made out of
strange
knickers in the
childhood,
war.
it seems.
Did you ever, when you were a kid, climb inside a duvet cover and button it up from the inside?
Yeah.
And then roll around the house and
Yes.
sort of tumble down the stairs? So I used to do. And also another thing I used to do as a kid was take a mirror off the wall and hold it underneath my chin and look at the ceiling on it and pretend I was walking on the ceiling and going through door frames and like stepping over the door
I
frame.
used to do that, and I completely forgot about that.
Hours.
I never did that, but I
My
did.
parents had to shake me. It's like, Steve, stop.
Steve, you're not on You'll come back to us.
Come back down to the ground.
Yeah.
I used to wear a I had a shower curtain that I used to wear. I just threw it over my head, and I just used to run up and down the corridors for hours at night, just go woo, pretend to be a ghost just on my own. I actually did that in the end of my first year of university.
Hang on, in a house entirely on your own?
No, this was in halls.
Okay. That's more like...
I don't know why. I just
in a
found it really
house,
entertaining.
as a child, where your parents never were,
Yeah, it's like
you would pretend to be a ghost.
I'm one of those weird kids that have grown up, and now I'm not weird. Well, I am, but not weird in the sort of like...
How weird are you? Assess your weirdness from 1 to kooky.
From kooky to spooky.
Oh, the kooky spooks adventures.
I don't know. I like to think I'm quite normal, but I'm aware that I'm not that normal. But I don't want to pretend that I'm strange, because that's
Very
fucking
wary of
irritating.
people who sort of
I'm crazy.
self-identify as being a
crazy.
bit mad.
Yeah, usually they're fucking boring. But however, I am aware that occasionally I do or say things which are genuinely a bit mental and worrying.
And that was Matt's regular feature, sexiest or not
Sexiest, yeah.
times
Well,
on a Bouncy
it might
Castle.
not have been that sexy for you guys, but it was very sexy for me.
That was this is our show. That was our show, regular features, and that was the end of
the
it.
end.
I think.
Bye. Oh, sorry.
Like
Were
us
you-
on
were
the
you about-
Facebook. Do us on the Facebook.
Could you do,
Well,
do
we
a
on-
Facebook on
Are
us?
we on Facebook
And
now?
also, no,
Broke the fucking wall.
we'll.
That's all of our jokes.
I always do that.
all of our running
That's
jokes.
That's a fucking running joke.
No running jokes
It
now.
is a running joke. It's a running joke that you say it and then I get it wrong.
Oh yeah, because Gav fucked it up last time by saying,
but-
"Oh, do you realise you're calling them readers?"
We've got no
It's
running
like,
jokes. We might as well pack our bags. We've
Yeah.
got nothing. We've got
Excuse
no
me,
jokes.
I did that on the first episode. I remember it now. It's coming back to me. That makes it a new running joke.
So you don't have a Facebook
running jokes
page.
morph.
Okay, all right. Well, like
But
us on
do
Facebook.
rate the iTunes
Yeah,
podcast.
rate us. I mean, we don't want to be. We're trying to be modest, but if you could rate us on iTunes, that'd be nice, because we haven't actually got enough ratings to even have a rating.
My suggested rating, 5 stars.
Yeah, I like 5 stars. I think that it's a good choice.
If you're going to give us anything less than 5 stars,
May I suggest 4 stars?
4 stars is a good starting point.
That's a good place to start thinking
But
about it.
don't feel like you need to justify that with constructive criticism, because we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But maybe a few nice comments.
Just say nice things, because
Constructive. Yes,
like-
fuck constructive criticism.
yeah, no, we'd really take it badly, because just not that we're not open to it.
Tell us.
It's just that just any form of negativity will just terrify us. We'll never do it again.
So please do vote for us on the iTunes, but don't be negative in any way. I mean, it's your right.
Unless you want
but,
us to stop, because we literally will
we
never
will
do it
stop.
again.
Yeah.
I'm that kind of. If someone says something I'm doing shit, I will never want to do it again.
Yeah.
Even if they're a prick, and I
And the
don't
only
respect
thing
their
that will
opinion
fix that
whatsoever.
is if someone says, "Well, it's not very good, but you were okay in it." That'll make me. Oh, I'll carry on if they say that.
Yeah. Well, there's that one guy who likes us. So.
Yeah, dickheads.
Nathy D.
Nathy D. I mean, if I was Matt Lees right now, I'd be feeling pretty shit.
I mean, I don't know him, but I mean, unless he starts taking note of who I am and drawing pictures of me on the internet, he's dickhead.
Nathy, can you start atting Matt Lees in on your tweets, please? Because he gets well shitty about
it's
it.
jam. If you've got a pen, just get a pen. It's jam _ sponge, like a sponge, like a sponge.
Yeah, that spelling of sponge.
That's spelling a sponge.
You calling Nathy D a retard?
Well, I don't know.
You,
might not.
you don't deserve.
God, Nathy
fans.
D, don't bother.
You don't
Nathy,
deserve.
don't bother,
You don't
Nathy
deserve,
D.
you don't deserve adoring fans like
Carry
me
on,
and Steve.
carry on, Nathy. I can live without it. I've got my own fans on the internet. Anyway, that was regular features. Come back next week.
And I'm going to edit this one. Mambo number 5.
A little bit of Jennifer for my wife.
I like a little bit now on the side, a little bit of Rachel in the bed,
A little bit of Jennifer in my
a little
blind
bit of
coffin.
David in the sack, a little bit of Christopher,
Because he's black.
a little bit of Jesus, 'cause he's dead, a little bit of you, and I'm all,
Set.
'cause I'm your dad.
Hey! 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 Hey!